Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we equip ourselves to thrive in change. I'm here to tell you that even the change you want can have side effects that we didn't expect. It can surprise us. So it is really, really valuable to spend some time becoming resilient, getting good at responding to change, not just knee jerk reacting to change and putting our head in the sand and pretending it's not happening. Or, oh my gosh, there's so many ways, dysfunctional ways that people worry about change, when if we would just take a few minutes once a week, say, to practice getting good at change, our whole life would be transformed. And I want your life to be transformed. So thank you. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's see who we've got. Missy's here. Hi, Missy. Missy, you're a traveling woman. I think you're in the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is pretty far away from me. So welcome and thanks for being here. Jump in and say hi. Drop your name in the comments. Let us know you're here. Can't wait to see who's got a little bit of time on their hands to, I don't know, learn and grow. Kelly, hi. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. All right, before I get too far in, let's just brag up Thumb Roast Coffee and the fact that Thumb Roast Coffee sponsors Sunday Night Live. And you can get 15% off of an online order of the best coffee you'll ever taste. And you can get it delivered directly to your mailbox. It can come in beans. It can come ground. It does not come already brewed, but she's probably working on that. I'll be honest, she's pretty innovative. But you can have the best coffee, the world's best coffee. And you can get 15% off if you use the coupon code THRIVE when you order it online. And I invite you to do that. It is incredible stuff. It's incredible stuff. All right, so let's see. Tonight we are going to talk a little bit about baggage. Got baggage? That's sort of what I titled this tonight. Got baggage? What is baggage? Years ago, many years ago, I'm going to say it was at least 35 years ago, I was new in a position at my job and they sent me for training to Los Angeles. So that was amazing. So I got to take a trip to Los Angeles, California. It was so exciting. And I'm here to tell you, I packed a lot of stuff because I was going to be going to training seminars during the day. And then there were other times when I was going to be taking tours of some mail processing facilities. So I had to have different clothes for that. And then, of course, there would be some sightseeing. So I wanted different clothes for that. And then I knew that we'd probably be going out to dinner sometime. So I was going to be there for a week. So I'm telling you guys, my suitcase got fuller and fuller and fuller, and it was huge. So I had a carry-on bag and I had a suitcase that I checked. When I got to Los Angeles and I collected my baggage, I was so envious of my traveling partner. She had packed everything in one small suitcase, and she was more than happy to go with me down to baggage claim to collect my gigantic suitcase, but she was traveling light. And I had my big suitcase plus a little suitcase, and it was all heavy, and it was a big airport, and I was getting tired. And I'm telling you folks, that's baggage. When you go to baggage claim at the airport, that's baggage. It's stuff that you think you're going to need, but maybe you won't. In fact, my experience was probably won't. I did not use 3/4 of what I put in that bag that I thought I would use just in case. This is the thing about baggage. If we're not intentional, we start dragging baggage with us every time we go through a change. every time we go through an experience, we bring loads of junk with us. We are hauling baggage, and most of it we're never going to use again. Most of it's just heavy. It's just heavy. And baggage prevents us from being resilient. It prevents us from responding quickly to change. Gosh, I just saw myself in this camera. Let me adjust you guys. I'm sinking down in my seat. How's that? Adjusted. Oh, better. Thank you for your patience. Baggage weighs us down. Maybe that was appropriate to the message, right? Baggage weighs us down. Baggage is the stuff that we think we might need for later, but it's not because we've got a good sense of what we need. It's because we're afraid we won't have something when we need it. Know what I'm saying? I packed enough clothes for if every day we had if it were 20 degrees in the morning, if it were 90 degrees in the afternoon, and if we were going to go to a bonfire at night, I had clothes for all of those things. And the reality of it was I packed all that baggage, but it would have been very easy for me to leave a lot of it behind. I was just afraid I'd limit my options. I was afraid that I wouldn't have what I wanted. This is the thing about baggage. Practice taking what you need. I'm not just talking about traveling on a trip. I'll tell you what, I got really good at packing a carry-on bag, and I never lacked for anything. After I hauled around that gigantic 50-pound suitcase through a couple of airports, onto taxis, onto a subway, onto buses, I spent a lot of time hauling baggage. I learned real quick, I can make this load lighter. And I want you to understand that the baggage that you've been hauling around, it's dragging you down. It's dragging you down. Sometimes we get our arms so full of the stuff we're afraid to let go of that we don't have the capacity to embrace the good and the new. Sometimes we get so caught up in holding on to that baggage that we don't have the capacity to take on anything else. We don't have the capacity to change because we're clutching our old ways of thinking. We're clutching our old ways of doing things. We're clutching old friendships that have been toxic for years. But you know, what would I do if I didn't have so-and-so in my life telling me I look fat in that dress? I'm talking to somebody tonight. I know I'm talking to somebody tonight. It's baggage. It's the stuff we hold on to just in case. I want you to know that you have everything you need right now to do the next thing you need to do. And when you get done doing the next thing you need to do, you're going to have what you need to do the thing after that. Take a look at your closet. How old is some of that stuff in there? How old is it? It's not practical. It doesn't make sense that we would hold on to that outdated suit that has the wide lapels if narrow ones are in. We tell ourselves, oh, that'll come back. It's not coming back. If it comes back, my friend, it's coming back for somebody who's 20 years younger than you. If you wear it, you'll look old. Just saying. It's baggage. The stuff we hold on to, we try to collect it to help us to feel more secure, like we're going to have all the resources we need. I'm going to have the clothes I need if I pack 2 huge suitcases and every conceivable combination of outfit just in case I think I might want it. Yeah, but what did it cost me to pack all of that? It took a lot of time. It took a lot of planning. It took a lot of energy to haul it around. It was exhausting trying to manage it, trying to get it all back in. I was so careful putting it in the first time, could hardly close the suitcase the second time. It's baggage. Where's there baggage in your life? Where is the baggage showing up for you? And what is it that you've been carrying around as if there would be some particular occasion that you were going to need that lecture you got from your 8th grade teacher who told you that you'd never amount to anything and that you were terrible at math. When are you going to need that? I'm here to tell you, you don't ever need it again. I'm here to tell you, you can let that go. What everybody thought of you when you were in high school, you can set it aside. It's baggage. You don't need those opinions, those mindsets, just in case you run out of what? Something that's useful and current. The old script that got written for you over and over and over, and then you started reinforcing over and over and over with every ill-chosen relationship, with every abuse tolerated. It's baggage. It's baggage. You don't need all that junk. Let it go. When you set down the baggage, you are free to put your fingerprints on the future. As long as you're holding on to all that junk, you'll never be free enough to embrace the good that lies ahead of you. You've heard me say it before. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Some of you don't have to look back. You're holding on to the tree trunk. You're not going anywhere. You are kicking and screaming when somebody tries to tell you, you know, this company's going to close. This company's going to close. In 2 years, this factory will be gone. We're not making cars here anymore. And you're kicking and screaming and resisting the change. That's baggage. That's just in case stuff. I'm here to tell you that you are able to learn to do something new. You're able to learn a new skill. You are able to embrace a new mindset, to pursue a new course of action, to say goodbye to toxic relationships and circumstances and embrace something new. You're able to do that, but you will not be able to do it if you are weighed down with junk. Oh, I can't make any changes until I fill in the blank. It's 5,000 things. Well, you know, I'd like to join a gym, but I can't do that until I fix my schedule. And then, you know, I can't change my schedule until, you know, Nancy retires, because once she retires, then I'll be able to move in her slot, and then I'm going to be able to free up in the mornings, and then I'll be able to go to the gym. Baggage. It's baggage. Keep it simple. Keep it light. Take the next step. Just take the next step. Don't worry about packing a mental suitcase full of just in cases and what ifs. Don't worry about it. You have everything you need right now to do the next thing you need to do. Do not get attached to baggage. Baggage is expensive. Baggage is costly. It costs us an energy. It saps our resources. It keeps us tied to the past. It keeps us tied to the past. I had a great conversation with a friend one time who has traveled across Europe more than once. And we went away for a long weekend up at the cottage on the lake. And she brought with her what looked like a large purse. And in it, she had a toothbrush and toothpaste. She had some deodorant. She had a few changes of undergarments and a spare shirt and a spare skirt. And it fit in the bag. And she was going to be gone for 4 days. And I said, wow, you packed pretty light. And she goes, are you kidding? This is how I traveled through Europe. And that stunned me. How freeing that must have been for her to not have to go and chase her suitcases that she checked, the giant trunk that people haul. How free it must have felt to be able to stand up, pick up that light bag, and go to the next spot. Incredible to think about. It's just as incredible to think about traveling that way on our journey toward our dreams, on our journey toward our purpose, toward our passion. Let go of the baggage. Don't try to take so much with you. Understand that you're going to learn new ideas that will replace those old ones that are outdated. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about trying to figure out exactly what am I going to need. I had just a refreshing conversation with one of my clients. She talked about how she has piles of paper on her desk, and she has file upon file upon file going back for 20 years that she's worked in her location. She goes, I have 20 years of history here of ways that I approached a certain project or ways that we approached a school program. And I asked her out of curiosity, how relevant are all those details for you now? She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, you learned something when you went through it. And we talked about one of the occasions that was many years ago. What did you learn from that? She goes, I learned that, kids value being able to hang out with each other more than they value listening to other people talk. Okay. And so that program you designed, how useful are the specifics of that program? She goes, well, actually, it's been a long time. Not very. They're not really relevant now. Kids are a lot different now. Technology is different, right? So don't keep the file with all the details unless you think you can replicate it, in which case, by all means, hold on to it. By all means, hold on to it. But allow yourself to consider, do I need these details? Kelly says, I hang on to details. And hey, Sammy, I'm glad you're here. Some of us are wired to hold on to details. Other of us are wired to shred everything. But it's worth asking ourselves the question, no matter how we're wired, is this thing that I'm holding on to, this stack of papers, is it adding value to me? Am I going to be able to reference that when I need something? Or is it so much that I'll never be able to figure it out? Perhaps it's time to let it go. Perhaps it's time to let those mental stacks of papers go. Those phony ideas that we get about ourselves that really are phony. There's nothing that proves they're true. Shannon's bad at math. My goodness, I held on to that idea for far too long. Friends, I am not bad at math. I'm not. I do math all the time, and I get it right as many times as I need to. I'm not terrible. It was baggage. I needed to let it go, and I did. Goodbye. Until now, I was bad at math. I've chosen to be different. The details we hang on to matter, and holding on to every detail can become baggage. Kelly, you confess you hang on to details. I hang on to some too. Are they serving you well? Are these details helping you or hurting you? Are they helping you to get toward your goal, to walk in your purpose, to pursue your calling, to follow your dream? If they are helping, by all means, keep that. Keep the relationships that are helping you do that. But if you're holding on to a friendship because it's 40 years old or 4 years old, and there's no value in it, and that person doesn't care about you, doesn't have your best at heart, it's baggage, my friend. Let it go. Start practicing. I guess I want to say reflecting, but be intentional about taking stock of your environment once in a while, maybe once a month. I've taken stock of my environment, and I realize I have far too many piles. It's baggage. When I go into my office, I haven't come up with a solution that I like that allows me to organize my paperwork well. It's time for me to do that. It's time, because it's causing me more pain to try and work around the piles of things I haven't decided what to do with than it would to just buckle down, take the hour, and put them in their place. It's baggage. It holds me back. What in your life is bogging you down? What slows you down? What saps your energy? Is it baggage? You can get rid of it. You can pack lighter. Maybe you don't want to cut off that friendship that's just costing you, that's driving you nuts, that's sucking your motivation, that negative Nelly that you've known for years. I'm not here to say that you have to cut them off completely, that you never have to speak to them again, but make your load lighter. Maybe you only see them once a month instead of twice a month. Maybe you cut down on the phone calls and now it's only once a week instead of every night. Lighten your load. Give yourself permission to pack lighter, because when you've packed light, you have much more energy to pursue the great sightseeing that you're getting ready to do. Your back's not going to be killing you like mine was. My feet were killing me. My back was killing me. Why? Because I packed way too much for that trip. I packed more than I could ever need. I was attached to something that wasn't going to help me experience my new environment. It wasn't going to allow me to connect more fully and completely with people. It wasn't going to allow me to learn better, faster. It wasn't going to allow me to transform. All that baggage did was cost me time and energy and money because I had to pay, pain. What's causing you pain? What's bogging you down? It's baggage, my friend. Give yourself permission to pack a light bag. You're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. If you've been released from a job, if you've been released from a position maybe that you had for years, perhaps your company is closing. Pack your suitcase lightly when you leave. Pack that backpack lightly when you leave. Bring your lessons, or as one person I interviewed years ago for a job said, you know what? I don't get stuck in failure. I take the meat and I leave the bones. I love it. Take the meat, leave the bones. Give yourself permission in times of change to identify what's your baggage. What's your baggage? All right, Kelly's sharing some things about details, and I love this. Kelly says some details are good. I don't mean to. It's just the way my mind works. 100% true. 100% true. Details help keep Kelly on track. Details are our friends. And too many details, or allowing the details to prevent us from taking action, now they become baggage. Now they become baggage. They're dragging us down. They're keeping us handcuffed to behaviors or to traditions that aren't helpful, that aren't feeding us, that aren't useful anymore. Details are great, Kelly. You keep paying attention to details. It's who you are. It's how you're wired. No complaint about details. But when you pack a suitcase, pack it light. When you're getting ready to make a change, don't worry about trying to take every memento that there possibly is. You can't. You can't. You can't possibly cram every souvenir. There's still memories outside of those souvenirs. Just take what you want, embrace it, but understand that if you carry too much with you, it can be baggage. It can drag you down. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to disrespect the past or memories or old friends or old relationships. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those things that we hold on to because we're afraid to let go. We're afraid we might need them. And then, heaven forbid, we actually do need one of the things that we sent to the Goodwill, right? We're like, you know what? I just sent that to Goodwill, and now I'm not going to ever give anything away again. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Don't get bogged down in the stuff of today if it's going to prevent you from moving on toward what you want. Hold on to the love. Hold on to the joy. Hold on to the lessons. But don't just hold on to everything just because you feel like you have to. Don't stuff your mental suitcase full of every negative statement that anybody ever said to you, all the bad advice you got, all the people that done you wrong. It's baggage. It's baggage. Whew, let it go. Let it go. When we focus on trying to preserve the baggage, sometimes it's baggage that somebody handed us. They came up, handed us a bag full of smelly garbage and said, here, hold this. I'm here to tell you, you can put that bag down. I don't care what kind of baggage your parents handed you. You get to choose if you want to hold on to it or not. You get to choose whether you release it or keep it. we sometimes think of things from our past as, I've got a lot of baggage, or that person has a lot of baggage. Absolutely. It's an accurate assessment. This is the thing about baggage. You can unpack some of it. You can leave that suitcase at the gate. You don't have to take it all with you. And I encourage you, as you work intentionally at becoming resilient in the midst of change, to get good at recognizing when your bag's too heavy, when you're holding on to things for fear just in case there's a tornado and you're going to bring all the equipment on your vacation. Might be too much baggage. I'm not as worried about how you travel physically as I am how you travel emotionally, how you travel mentally, spiritually. When we just keep accumulating all the baggage from the past and try to drag ourselves into the future with history, I'm here to tell you, you get to choose to set those bags down and travel more lightly. Kelly says, details keep me on track and my mind deletes things as I move forward. So you've got a process in place for those details. You don't just hold on to everything and then they allow you, or they don't allow you to move forward because there's just so much. Having a process up, paying attention to details and moving on, it's a great thing. Details aren't the issue. Baggage is the issue. And getting bogged down in rules that we've placed on ourselves that we're not going to allow ourselves to change until. I'm not going to allow myself to dress nice until I lose 10 pounds. That's baggage, my friend. That's baggage. Put that bag down. That idea that you need to punish yourself by feeling ugly until you get healthier, it's not going to work. It's baggage. It's doing more harm than good. Travel lightly. Travel lightly and choose in the midst of change to not take all the crud with us. We just have to make that choice if we are going to travel toward our dreams, toward what's good, and we are being called toward good. If we are going to do that, we have to get good at knowing what is bogging me down and giving ourselves permission to set it aside. Drop the baggage. Drop the baggage. All right, with that, thank you. I know today is Father's Day in the United States. I'm not sure if they celebrate that all across the world, but certainly in the United States, Father's Day is a special day. I know many of the people who are often with us live are celebrating with their dads right now, and I think that's an amazing thing. If you were with us live, thank you for being here. And if you're tuning in on a recording, thank you also. Thank you for caring about yourself enough, being intentional enough to follow up even when the live broadcast is done. That's why it's here. I encourage you, check out the YouTube channel. You can look it up, Shannon LaBruyere, Thrive and Change, and you'll find it. And we've got a history there, a good history, not baggage, of some really great lessons. If you want to take a deep dive into change, you would get a lot out of Shannon LaBruyere's Thrive and Change YouTube channel. Check it out. With that, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to learn and grow. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Mwah. Bye.